We'll start with a classic.
A classic, yeah. Yeah, qomp2. This was a PAX West choice for me when I saw it late last year. I'm gonna go with as I said in my text that I sent you. I'm gonna go with the kayfabe story where this is a sequel to. This is a sequel to Pong. It is not a. There is no pre-existing Qomp as far as you all know. But no, Qomp. Did anyone play the original? I'm sure. Zach.
Yeah, way back in the day. Yeah.
I was one of the original testers for Qomp because I know the guy who made it.
So it's a very straightforward sort of concept. The original was just like you got a button, you push it. The ball is always in like X-axis motion. So when you push the button, it changes. If you're going up, it's going to make it go down, but always in the direction you're facing. So if you need to be going the other way, you got to hit something that's not a travel and then launch you in the other direction. So, but the stages are filled with traps and pitfalls and all kinds of goofy things. So yeah, it's sort of in lore. This is the sequel to Pong. They bought it. Like Atari owns this now. It owns Qomp now, and so it's sort of officially almost canonized as Pong 2 in a way. So instead of playing as the paddles, you are now the ball. And you break.
Whoa, what a twist!
What a twist.
You break free from the game world of Pong and go on this like. I'm trying to remember what game this reminds me of. It's like because like there were so many games like this in like 2010 where it's just like, hey, just like this lo-fi death trap. It's like VVVVV and all those kinds of games like that.
Does it have this sort of CRT-ish?
Yeah, the entire the screen is cool. The screen has a sort of fisheye effect on it with scan lines on everything. It's a really cool aesthetic. But yeah, you're just controlling the ball and trying to make it through, solve these puzzles. But now the big thing is this has 100% more buttons. Cool. So now there are 2 buttons in this game. You have the typical, I'm just going to say y-axis because they'll flip it on you every once in a while. It's not just up and down sometimes. So you have that, but you also have like a boost button that you can charge. So if you hold it down, it'll charge the ball, and when you release it,
that little blue charge that we just saw.
Blue charge, and that blue charge can be used for a bunch of different things. It can push things around. It can break certain things. As long as if it's colored blue, you can only interact with it when you're in that boost mode.
Like those
blocks. Like those blocks you can push, or there are certain bricks that you can push. Those black holes that you can sort of get caught up in and stuff. And yeah, there's boss fights. There's 30 stages. It's not a lot, but it's enough. And it'll fuck with you every once in a while. It will be like there'll be certain places where you lose control of the ball altogether. Like you can't make it go up and down, or like you'll go underwater like here and it changes the physics entirely. Like instead of pressing you push the boost button and it makes you sink, and when you push the A button to make you kind of like swim a little bit. So it's I highly recommend if you play this, playing it with mouse. It feels so much better. Bye, Zach. It feels so much better with a mouse when you're just sitting at your computer and you've just like right and left click, and like it's a very, very, very hard game.
Wrong button.
It can get very, very hard, but it's also very easy to just like sit there and look at the screen and just keep pushing the button, because it's also very forgiving with its checkpoints.
Sure.
So like it's definitely one of those games where you're just like, okay, fuck. Okay, fuck. Okay, fuck. You know, and just tell
How
you
much
finally.
does this feel like a retro game, like from
It
the
doesn't
Atari era?
really.
Doesn't. Okay.
It definitely feels like an Xbox Live Arcade game in a
Okay.
lot of ways. It's
Which
just
is
it's
okay.
yeah, no, that's
cool.
that's the highest of praise
Yeah,
as far as
yeah,
I'm concerned.
right.
Back in the heyday.
No, yeah, it doesn't feel like this would be on like anything other than like a modern-ish platform. You know, like I said, like this definitely this definitely feels like a 360 game in the best possible way. The boss fights are all very cool. You wouldn't think they would be, but they are. And there's not a whole lot of else to do other than just go through it. There are like
Was that a boss fight right there?
yeah. There are some secrets hidden throughout. There's like these little teardrops. There's like one in each stage that you can find. But
that's cool.
Yeah, this is just a great little game.
This looks like a JJ Ask JJ game. This from the same folks that made Mr. Run and Jump. Graphite Lab.
I mean, is it Graphite Labs? They do
Yeah.
Mr. Run and, yeah. It definitely feels like that like Mr. Run and Jump in its own little way. You could tell.
Dope. Yeah. Oh, cool.
Atari's really just kind of killing it with these sort of like reimaginings of things. But yeah, no, this is a clever game. It's fun. Excellent. It's slower than the original Qomp, so you kind of, if you've played the original, you kind of got to adjust yourself because this one's way slower than the original. The original was pretty fast. This one's
It does look like it's kind of moving at a little bit of a slower pace.
Yeah,
probably because there are more perils and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. There's way more perils. There's if you fuck up enough, you'll see little ghost balls like showing you, like floating around in the background, kind of giving you where you should go. It took me a while to realize what was. I thought it was at first. I thought it was like my ghosts of like me fucking up. But no, I eventually realized like, oh no, that's them trying to tell me that I'm sucking really bad right now at this stage. But yeah, no, it's a great. I've been playing it exclusively in like on like handheld mode on like the Steam Deck and stuff, and it runs fantastic, and it's perfect for that kind of thing. But I've also been playing it on my laptop, which is also plug in a mouse, left click, right click, and just kind of stare at the screen as my retinas burn. No, great,
Hey,
love it.
JJ.
Yes, sir.
So the person who made the original game, Wombat. Have you played his new game, Mussolina?
No, I have not.
You should check it out.
I will check that out.
I think you'd like it.
I will check that out. That's after we get off this here.